Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my friend and yours, Gary Gensler, and his appearance recently in the latest hearing and his obvious uncomfortableness, if that's a word, while being grilled and being questioned about his antics, his theories, and his comments on social media without the authority behind them and acting like he's judge, jury, and executioner for any crypto that might want to open up a business in the US. So, what I'd like to do is, for those who haven't seen it, for those not in the know, just show a couple of clips of the questions he's been or that are being put to him and his answers, which in my opinion don't clarify anything. They go around in circles, and how he can be in the position that he holds, again, in my opinion, is dumbfounding. So I'd like to show you this first clip. It does go for around 4 minutes, but I think it speaks for itself. And the way that he tries to get around the answer is again dumbfounding. So here we go.
Thank you, Chair Gensler. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain. Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities, but I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity and an included commodity. I'm sorry, Chair, just to talk about the Commodity Exchange Act more precisely.
Okay, so do you recognize, how would you categorize Ether then?
Look, I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s, but as amended.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs,
I'm asking about one.
The public is anticipating a profit based on the.
I'm asking a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law. And if there's a group of individuals.
I'm asking you about the facts and the law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also.
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset. What is your view?
And my view is if there's a group of individuals in the middle that the public is
all right. So let me just ask a second question. Do you think it serves the market for an object to be viewed by the commodities regulator as a commodity and the securities regulator to be viewed as a security? Do you think that provides safety and soundness for the product? Do you think it provides consumer protection? Do you think it serves the value of innovation? I think no should be a very simple answer for you here.
I think
that uncertainty is bad, is it not?
And I think that Congress has said that there's one agency, the Securities and Exchange Commission, under this committee.
And you won't answer my question, and you're the head of that agency. So give me a break. Come on.
I'm answering it in the generic because you would not want me to speak about any one set of facts and circumstance.
Okay, so But you've already spoken. Have you said anything about Bitcoin?
My predecessors and the agency itself has spoken to them.
Okay, but you're not willing to do the same about Ether.
I think
Okay,
that-
so let me just step back. There's a lack of clarity here in the marketplace. Can you at least agree to that?
I think that the clarity is there. The law is clear.
All
that
right.
There's a
So
group of
let me
individuals who rely
be
on
explicit
this.
about this. The market doesn't see it. Your regulatory actions and the CFTC's regulatory actions say that there's a great deal of uncertainty here. It is the intention of this committee to fix that uncertainty and actually provide a sound legal basis for this.
So Gary, you don't have a clue. You don't even know how to answer the question. You may be trying to avoid it, which is partly the truth, I believe. But just give a yes or no answer, please, and be done with it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another clip here that I'd like to show you. It just points out again his incompetence, his ineptness, and why he really does need to go, and why mum and dad investors like us, the retail investor, are really put to the test with this guy. Just I'll play this clip for you as well.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone,
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there's another clip here. I think we've seen that one. Yeah, we'll watch. This is the one we're looking for.
Industry to access financial products and services in the United States than it was, say, 2 years ago? The answer, sir, is yes. Do you think you and the SEC have had a role to play in that? You have played an obvious role in that. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
yes,
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States? You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been 1.5 years since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment towards Bitcoin spot ETFs, and that's just to name a few.
So there's 1 minute and 40 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, of nailing Gary Gensler to a T. He's not only scaring investors away from the US, but businesses who are set up and working in the US seriously considering taking their businesses offshore. He's two-faced when it comes to talking to businesses up front, and then after months of negotiations deciding that they may be now a security. So he's definitely been put under the pump today. He's probably at home now or wherever he might be, seriously considering his future. And it was put to him that he may not hold his position for much longer. There's another clip here I'll show you as well.
Under our ethics rules, they do.
Do you own digital assets or have a digital wallet?
I don't own any crypto assets. All of my securities holdings are actually digital because they're held by a broker dealer and they're digital there.
Have you ever owned Bitcoin or another digital asset?
No.
And so maybe here, I'm guessing most folks on your senior staff, I'm guessing you included, have bought or sold stocks, but none of them have owned, or none of them currently own crypto assets, but are in the process of making rules and regulations on crypto assets. That'd be a fair assumption.
I couldn't speak to that. I actually at MIT taught a course called Blockchain and Money. I taught multiple courses called Crypto Finance and other courses as well.
But you didn't own any crypto.
No,
You taught the course, but you weren't a user in the product.
I did not own crypto assets. They're a highly speculative asset.
No, I'm not asking
now.
for your view on it. I'm just saying that you're in the business now of making rules and regulations regarding digital assets, but you've taught a class on it. You've never personally owned a digital asset, any crypto, including Bitcoin.
The only digital assets I have is my bank account and my brokerage accounts, but no crypto.
Very good. Thank you. On July 13th,
There you go. Hardly an authority on the matter. Probably doesn't even know how to open a wallet. And here he is making decisions for the whole country and for businesses. And again, putting mum and dad investors in jeopardy and wondering about their future of their investments. I'd like to show you this clip as well.
Chairman Gensler, your record of failures to protect investors and abuses of power make it clear that we need to restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. The failures are many, but let me cite some of the abuses. You average more than 2 rules proposals a month. You provide inappropriately short comment periods. You have unworkable and unlawful ESG disclosure mandates on the market. You have essentially a Hotel California rule for crypto where you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. You have endless discovery with no resolution and no clarity for the captives in the market. You have unworkable proposals for overhauling equity market structure, a de facto ban on crypto through proposed custody rule. You have high staff turnover, unhappy people leaving your office, and unhappy companies and capital leaving our country. To correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where all authority would reside. Former chairs of the SEC will be ineligible under my proposed bill. And this isn't just my take. It resonates across the political spectrum. The American people want democratic access to capital, retail investor participation. You can't just exclude retail investors from markets and claim it's for their own good. Our markets need to function and flourish, and I yield back.
So there you go. A proposed bill to remove him from his position. Whether that's going to happen or not, that'll remain to be seen. But it does show the overwhelming majority of people, from retailers through to businesses, through to government officials, aren't really happy with his performance. He hasn't done the job, doesn't know what he's doing, and needs to go. And hopefully this is the first step in making that change. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't been up to speed, I hope that does help you out a little bit. If you haven't even been following it and you've seen this video for the first time, you may now decide to do a bit more digging and see exactly what's happening in the Ripple case, the XRP case. Hopefully a resolution's coming soon based on what's happening with the attitude towards Gensler now. We might get an outcome. Please like the video and please subscribe to the channel. We love putting out content and we'd love to grow the audience. See you guys in the next one.